to That's What We Think with Connie and Steve. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good, good. You look like you almost forgot what
I
you were gonna
did.
say. I thought so.
I did.
There's a bit
I
of a
was like,
pause.
what am I saying? Welcome.
Oh,
Hi.
and everybody, that is a rarity that we just doesn't know what to say. Ah, you're witnessing
Yes.
history here. That was good. Anyways, we're back. And yeah, how's the day going so far for you?
Not bad. You know what? I just realized today I saw a text from my kids. It's Poppy's birthday today.
How old is she?
She's I think she's 8.
She's so
'Cause everyone kept
cute.
on saying 7, so now I'm guessing she's 8 now. She has to be 8 if it's her birthday today. So, yeah, I was like,
Poppy is a dog, everybody.
yeah, she's my daughter's, golden doodle, who every
She
so often we have to stop recording because she goes
yeah,
insane and
yeah, she
starts
does.
barking at
She
everything.
but she is lovely. She's such a good girl.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How's
she's
Penelope, by the way?
uh,
That's
who
their cat.
who has made, like, some debuts on her, because you
That's
can
right,
hear
she
her in the
has.
background. She wants everyone to know what she thinks too. She's doing good. She's
Okay,
doing
that's good.
good. Yes.
And
Penelope is old,
yeah.
well, 18 years old. So, every so
Can
often
you
it's
believe
touch and
that?
go. We're
I
like, "Okay, this is it."
uh,
And then she, like, kicks it back in and she's using another life. So I think
wow,
she's on life number 4?
8, 9? Look, I mean, I know that they always tell you that cats and dogs live within a certain amount of time, and it's lovely that they you know what I mean? Like, they're
Mhm.
defying that expectation, and, oh, I
Yeah.
love Penelope too.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to Poppy. But we, um, now that we're done celebrating our lovely pet or your lovely pets,
My lovely pets.
our our emphasis today isn't on animals, sadly, which would be great. It's on lovely, lovely social media. And,
Yes, which was is a
lately,
place that you can see a lot of videos
that's
of
right.
cats and dogs and
Oh, aren't they great? I
panda
gotta tell you,
bears.
Connie, when things get really stupid out there,
Yep.
I love looking at dogs and cats and animals in general. Like, it's
Animals in
just,
general, absolutely.
oh,
Being silly because 'cause they're so
absolutely.
fun. It's such
There's,
a mental reprieve from everything
oh,
else that
yeah,
is going on in social media.
absolutely. And you know what? That to me signifies one of the highlights of social media, sharing these fantastic images that you probably wouldn't have seen before.
No.
And they're in natural environments, and how humans react with them and how they react to humans. And although I generally wouldn't advocate us being friends with wild animals, there's just something really special when you see, these huge, beautiful, majestic elephants responding to the caretaker that took care of them when they
Yeah.
were babies. Oh,
Yeah.
it's magnificent.
Or
That's the
even
glory of
even I
social media.
mean, you even see sometimes where it's like a lion that had been taken care of as a cub, and then their caretaker comes, and then that recognition, and it comes running up to them, and there's
Yeah,
that bit of fear that I have watching it thinking, "Oh
me too.
god." But they just sit there knowing, I guess, that they're safe, and the animal comes running up to them and gives them a hug.
Yeah,
Not to eat them hug, but
I still get a little worried. Like, I
Oh,
mean, they're still
I
wild, and
I don't know how they are
no.
brave like that. Even with
Look,
some dogs, I'm like,
uh,
you know?
when I was in Australia, part of my tour was to go with the chef. Oh, it was so cool. We got to go to the vineyards, and we got to do all sorts of little things, and we went to a beekeeper where he keeps bees. And of course,
Mm.
I put on the bee suit. But did Stephen Wilson go near the bees? He certainly didn't, because he doesn't
Oh,
like
no?
them. Well, no, no, no.
Oh,
I know
I
that the
love
purpose, they're
bees.
beautiful and we need bees. But
Yep.
I also was sadly traumatized as a child because my
Mhm.
mom was cutting the lawn, and she went over one of those nests that were
Oh, yep.
underground.
Mhm.
Oh my God. This hive came swarming out. I was 8. And she's like
Yeah.
screaming, Trevor, Trevor. That's my dad's name. And I hid in the basement because it was so traumatizing. Ever since then, I
Yeah.
can't with bees. But I love all
Oh,
animals.
I wonder if that has to do with your dream. Remember when you were talking about digging out
The
the
hive.
beehive?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to ask
I
my
love
therapist.
bees. Bees are one of my favorite
We need
um
them.
animals or whatever you want to call it. To me, they are good luck.
Which kind of bee?
Um
Bumblebees?
all
Honeybees? Okay.
honeybees particularly,
Yep.
but all bees. We have here at our house, we always have bumblebees, and they're
They're the best.
constantly, oh, they're so cute. They're so
I love
little round and
bumblebees.
fat and just oh.
Yeah.
And but when our very first house that we had in Oshawa had a grapevine that the original owner had planted and brought this the stem from Greece, and it grew there, and I would pick the grapes from the grapevine
Yeah.
while bees were buzzing around my head, and I would be talking to the bees, and none of them ever bothered me.
It's respect for me.
Yeah,
I respect their nature.
yeah.
And to be perfectly frank, and I do think that they're needed and necessary, but we're going off topic.
Yes, it's
Anyway,
completely off topic,
but
but when I do see bees
yeah,
on
social
social
media,
media, it just I don't know,
heartwarming.
there's something about it. It just
Yeah.
makes you yeah.
Well, social media has introduced me to bee campaigns, which, we need these
Yeah.
days with industrial pollutants and everything going on. They're in danger. And that's the joy of having social media now. Of course, we can dive into what's going on with it, but I do think the original intent was for us to have access to things that we never knew existed.
Mhm.
Uh, medicine and medical information, and just even meeting people that you probably never have a chance to talk to. And that probably was the intent. And I still sometimes believe that it's still very much there. Sadly, it's just been buried a little bit because there's just been so much other stuff that people have been using social media for.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yeah.
of getting
Even
louder.
even reconnecting with friends
Yep,
that you may not have seen since elementary school or whatever. That's always lovely too, is that finding that reconnection as an adult to people that you went to school with.
totally.
It's nice.
Yeah, it has been nice with that. And it is nice. It's nice just to know that it was developed for that purpose.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes, and this is where the sad part comes into play here, is that human beings sometimes just can't have nice things because the intent was there that, like Facebook was designed for us to reach out and connect with people that we,
Actually, Facebook was designed to degrade women
oh, that's right.
originally. They were
That's right.
rating women on campus and trying to get dates.
That's right. I
Yeah,
forgot
a
about
bunch of
that part.
nerdy boys rating women. Nice.
Surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah, because this was their only way to talk to them.
yeah.
Or
It doesn't
have any sort
matter.
of
Your social
access.
standing in this world has that never matters when it comes to degrading women,
Fair enough. Yeah,
unfortunately,
no, you're right.
you know?
Like, look, with that in mind too, I mean, I'm glad it had evolved a little bit. However,
Mhm.
now Facebook is somehow devolving a little bit now,
Devolving.
right? So, like I said, with good things come bad things sometimes, and as I had said previously, that social media has led to us having access to things and people that we never thought we'd have access to. It's also lent itself access to hundreds of thousands of opinions that I don't think the human mind was meant to handle. And a lot of it is coming from places where people really shouldn't be having this
Right.
sort of access to talk to us about their opinions. And myself included, I would throw
As we
myself.
mentioned our
Yeah,
opinions.
I said myself included. I absolutely have had my own issues with us doing the podcast where I've said, are we adding to the noise? Are we creating more noise pollution with our podcast and our voice? And it's always a topsy turvy thing with that, just depending on where we're going and what we're talking
Yeah,
about. But if we can also bring a little bit of joy because we're not out there
exactly.
making life hell for people,
No, I
at
think
least I
I
don't think
think
so.
our purpose, like I've said before, our purpose is to bring joy and happiness and comment
Make
on
you think?
history that's going on and you know,
Yeah. Yeah,
If you like listening to us, great. If you don't, if you're not having fun listening to us,
you have the
you
option
know,
to shut us off.
exactly.
That's right. And but social media, of course, is designed for it to be never ending and never
Yes.
stops.
Yeah.
And you can't excuse. Look, obviously, the purpose, yes, the intent of it at the beginning was really quite something. And you
Hmm.
and I, and Gen Xers in general, we're at the forefront of that. We got to
Yeah.
see. Oh my God! Do you know what big of a deal when our office was able to get the internet? It was just even have access to the internet. It was a huge
Oh
deal,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And before it went from like two computers could only be on to all of a sudden we got upgraded to everybody could be on, and it was pretty exciting.
Yeah. And
And
it, at the time, it seemed like it was a slow evolution. But when you think about how far we've come from the
it,
AOL, that noise that it made,
yes,
right?
yes,
To now, like that's
it's
huge.
huge.
It's
Oh,
leaps
it's
and
huge.
bounds.
I mean, you kids may not know this, but I mean, you couldn't talk on the phone when you were online
Right.
because it
Yeah.
used the same cable. So, but that familiar noise that Connie attempted to make,
I was
everybody
gonna say,
knows.
I totally failed at making that noise.
But everybody knows the noise. They'll know it
Yeah,
when you do it.
yeah,
So, I mean, and that means you were connected and it was like a whole new world.
yeah.
And it was incredibly exciting. Like, oh my God, the things that you could play around with and share music and music sharing, remember? And it
Yes.
was great. And even from a social aspect, chat rooms started to be uh, developed. And when I was in school, this one guy was a great guy, but eventually he kind of disappeared. Do you want to know why? Because he was spending all of his time in chat
Oh my
rooms,
gosh.
so he had to drop out. And that's the downside of that part. But it still was kind of nice just to kind of talk to other people, if whoever it was,
Mhm.
and and like again, the intention was all pretty positive for the most part. Unfortunately, with progress comes issues, and you can start seeing its tentacles starting to make its way through our entire society. One thing that I was noticing is teachers now. We're discussing with their classrooms how it's become much more difficult to get the children's attention because
Right.
so many of them are on social media now, and that dopamine effect of just like instant gratification is
Well,
taking over.
and it is starting from such a young age,
It is.
right? Like
It
you
is.
see people um in the grocery store pushing their cart, their toddler in the grocery cart seat, and instead of communicating with that toddler and talking with them and discussing what they're going to have for dinner, that baby's sitting there holding their mom's phone,
Really?
watching some dopamine type video with
Yeah.
lots of colors and movement while the mom's quietly shopping, and because they're using that as their moment of peace. This is your child. I don't
Wow.
know. There's so many other moments of peace that you can have. Why are you taking this opportunity when it's just the two of you, when you can have conversation, just the two of you, and you're now putting this square flat screen in front of them. I find it very sad. Now that's not social media,
But it's part of it.
but it's the start of it, right? Because that toddler then becomes the 10-year-old who is only playing games. The parent is asking them to go brush their teeth or go get ready for school, and you hear the grunt come from them, and they don't move.
Yeah.
Have you brushed your teeth? No, look up at me. You cannot blame them now when
Mhm.
their eyes are so glued to that thing when you've been the one to put that in their hand initially. Because a toddler doesn't go and take this.
Yeah.
They're only taking it because they see you're on it and they
Yeah.
always want what you have, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's even older kids, and they who are 17, 18, or 16 or whatever it is. There may be a group of them, but no one's talking because
yeah.
they're all doing their talking via social media. We wouldn't last a day because you and
No.
I mean, and and
It's
then
just
not
easier
even
to
just
talk.
us, exactly, but not even just us. We all were blabbers. We all talked. It was
Yes.
social. The whole point of being social was to be social.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting word that they're putting social media when it's removed the capability of human interaction rather than
Yeah.
this is where I can get into trouble with my opinions. And again, this is what I think. I think that the intent probably was okay. However, the creators of social media were those guys that spent their time in their attic or time in the basement or time wherever the hell they had their computers all set up. It was their only way of interaction. They weren't invited to the parties. They weren't invited. They didn't have girlfriends. They didn't have a life. This was their life. They created a life, which now has spread to everybody else. So, in essence, quite a lot of people have become that. They've
Yeah.
become addicted to talking on their computers rather than talking to each other. And and it's depressing to see that instead of using it just as a tool, maybe just to help us, it's
Right.
become the tool to do everything with shopping,
Yeah. I
talking,
also think that
banking.
the creators ended up seeing how much money they can make off of our attention, because that's the commodity is our attention, right?
Yeah,
So the more that the algorithm works in a way to pull your attention so that you stay on there, you scroll, you do, you want to see more of it, whatever it is that they're showing you, the longer they can sell you things, or the more that they can say to the people they're selling ad space to,
yeah,
we have this many users, this is how long that they stay on, so this is how much it's worth. That's
right.
where they're making the money, is
Yeah,
our attention that can then be pulled to advertisement.
agreed. And
Yeah.
make no mistake, they're making a lot of money.
Oh, they're
Oh my
making a lot
God,
of money.
look
And
at the two
sometimes they're
people.
making there's sometimes their money though that they're making is based on this evaluation that they've been given
Right.
to say, "Oh, this is how much this company's worth. What are they selling? What's the product?" There is nothing to show of that product other than how much people are using it.
It's definitely created a society that it's changing us. I do believe at the beginning that the change was meant to be a beneficial thing. And again, there are many benefits to social media that you can't
Yeah.
deny. It's given us access to, for some people, therapeutic tools that they may need to recover and have access to, gay and lesbian students or trans that may want to talk to somebody because you couldn't do
Yeah.
that really before.
No.
It's wonderful
And
for
if you
that.
lived in the middle of Iowa,
Nowhere.
say, or
Yeah.
Manitoba,
Yep.
where are you going to find somebody who is like you?
Absolutely. And that actually is why you always have to take the negativity with a positive grain of salt. Unfortunately, it also has created, as we've talked about in previous episodes, social media is being used as a tool to misinform voters, and it's working
Yeah.
because it's relentless. You can't, once a lie or something has been put out there, you can't, you, whoever it is that's responsible to fix that lie is spending now the rest of their time having to chase it. But it's
Yeah.
gone, it's there, and it's embedded. I
Yeah.
remember when I was in school for communications. I had to go back to Ryerson for my communications degree, and this gentleman came in from Google, and he was hyping Google Glass,
Mm.
and he was so excited. Was Stephen Wilson excited? Hell no! You know what he said to him? He raises his hand and he goes, "You do realize that you just made our job so much harder as communication specialists, don't you?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "You're touting a product where the person who's wearing it can quickly take a picture of whatever it is that's going on and post it, and it's out there. You have essentially created a brand new world now where we are going to have to do double the amount of work to keep up with whatever is going on. If which is might be good if a consumer found something in their food, fine, that's great, put it out there. But now the communication specialist will have to deal with that. Or if they didn't find something and there was a lie, they now have to work harder to overcome that. You're affecting every part of our lives. You're
Yeah.
also making it easier for people to take unwelcome pictures. Are you guys thinking about those things, or are you just excited that you've created something? Like he was silent. Like I'm sorry, I was really upset because I thought think this through.
Yeah.
Technology
You
sometimes may not benefit us all the
Yeah,
best. Right.
and you do have to have somebody that has a dissenting voice like that. So then that way can think about what it is that you're doing. I remember reading a book called Sex, Race, and Robots by Dr.
Okay.
Ariana Howard. She is a Black woman
Yes.
who is AI and a
Okay.
robotic engineer.
Good.
And she was talking about how initially when they created these autonomous cars and it's white men doing this.
Yeah.
It didn't see her. It didn't notice her. So they didn't think there could be black pedestrians
Right.
walking across the street. It saw her when she put on a
Interesting.
white mask, so they had to go and fix it. And that's the reason why we need dissenting voices to ask the questions. Are you sure? And that's why we also need representation because each of us, whether we are Black, Asian, white, visually impaired, or physically impaired somehow, we all have our own perspectives on life. So we'll have different questions that need to be asked of these tech firms or different social medias because we're all coming at it from different angles. You asking him questions about the Google Glasses
Yeah.
is important. So I
It
hope you
is.
weren't dismissed.
Well, do we see Google Glass? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
No, I did not have that say, but I'm sure it's been a concern. Like honestly, I
Google
think it was a
Glasses were put away thanks to
right. Thanks to
Stephen
Stephen
Wilson.
Wilson's big mouth. Um, but no, you know what, Connie? I think that, and I'm going to be a dissenting voice here. A lot of the creators of social media are exactly what you said. They're white guys,
Yeah.
and they really only care about what their viewpoint is. And it doesn't
Mhm.
include women, it doesn't include race, it doesn't include anybody other than themselves. They are very insular in thinking and don't think about the consequences other than I'm creating something, so aren't I a genius? And and I probably will get into trouble, but I'm sorry. There's been too many historic references to not back me up with that opinion and thought.
Yeah.
This is what I think, but I do see it. And even if you were to say to them, you really should have thought about this, I still don't think it resonates with that particular subset of people who work in technology. They are a study in something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I mean, you could see. I mean, we have perfect examples of people that work in technology now. We've got
Yeah.
Elon Musk
And
and we have
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. Look at them.
Mhm.
Look at them.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my
Yeah.
God.
You would think though that they would get focus groups. Remember how
They're not interested.
in any kind of advertisement or anything you would get focus groups and they you would try to like mix that focus group to find out what they all think. Now, not always were they diverse focus groups originally. I don't know about nowadays.
Right.
But you would think that that would be, but I think we, the users, are their focus group. So I think they put something out there. Um, Facebook will do an update or whatever, and we, the users, the way we use Facebook, are their focus group.
Right. Okay.
So our continuation, our reaction to things, I think that's what they're using. I don't know how much they listen to it. I don't think
That's the thing.
so. In the case of Musk with X or
Yeah.
Twitter, whatever you want to bloody well
Twitter. It's
call
always
it,
Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think he listens at all. I think it's
No.
his playground and he's doing what he wants with it. Recently, he actually got rid of a bunch of MAGA people on X because they weren't being nice to him. It's freedom of speech as long as it's my
Supporting
speech.
him. Yeah. He's such a
Yeah,
child. I,
he
I,
is very
I,
much so.
it's terrifying that somebody with that mental bandwidth is in such a position look where we are. I can't quite come to grips with the rise of the social media oligarch. They have
Yeah.
they do have, make no mistake, this is now the revenge of the nerds in certain respects, because they do control.
Well, and currently, I mean, right
Yeah.
now it is April 1st.
Yes.
Um, I think April 5th is when TikTok is up for, again, its possible ban. This
Okay.
is the second time that it might, is it going to be saved again? Who knows? Um, but
Does he
but
want to
yeah,
buy it? Does
I
does
don't
Elon?
know. I have no
Okay.
idea. I don't, I'm
This is the
like,
American
yes,
TikTok,
it'll
right?
be
Okay.
banned for Americans only. The
Okay.
first time that it was banned for Americans only, um, the rest of the world kinda liked it.
Yeah. Isn't it
Yeah,
interesting?
because, um, Commonwealth TikTok, EU TikTok, and world TikTok kind of flew off, and we were no longer seeing American, um, content, so we were seeing each other's content, and it was so nice. It was calm, it was lovely. You would go for a walk in the Alps with some Hans guy that's, talking about his country and life in Switzerland, or you would see somebody in Sicily cooking some food, or you would see somebody like so many Canadians, just
What's the
meeting
American
each
content
other.
like? I don't have a TikTok account. So what was the American content mostly about?
Well, a lot of people were, so my algorithm, I am very, very careful. I am very aware of how algorithms work. So I make sure that my algorithm is recipes, panda bears, animals, and then some political content and stuff like that. But it's always,
Tame,
yeah, it's
safe,
always, nice, friendly stuff, right? Where
right?
you can get some pretty bad content.
I heard
Yeah, and
like
if you are putting out videos, you can get some really nasty comments on there as well.
some of the
Um,
political stuff I heard have been
yeah,
really, really nasty.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, from from my perspective and my usage of TikTok, I love it. The things that I learned from other people around the world, I love. I've gotten recipes. Last night I made a really nice chicken dinner from
From TikTok?
from
Ah,
TikTok.
okay.
The number of recipes, most of them have been good. A couple of duds
Yeah.
because,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Of
everything
course.
not everything
I
works and
I have
everybody's
my
taste
opinions
buds
about
are
online
different.
cooks, but yeah. Some of them. Some of them. Not all.
Yeah.
Some are good. Yeah, but go on.
It's also introduced me to these short films on TikTok.
Okay.
They're subtitled because they're Chinese films, but
Okay.
they're so good. They're so dramatic and they're so
Creative.
engaging. Oh, they're
Yeah.
so, so good. The
Yeah.
kids think I'm hilarious because I'm sitting there watching this show and I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
But you see, you're
And we're-
just telling us the joy. This is what it should be about.
yes.
That discovery, and because there are so many incredible creative people around the
Oh,
world, and
really? Like,
social media allows
seriously.
us to see it.
These actors are so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The sets are like, whatever, but still the storyline's great and everything.
Oh,
It's riveting stuff.
oh my God. There's somebody on
And it's
Instagram
different.
that
There's something I always love foreign films. It drives David nuts. He doesn't like it because he doesn't like the subtitles, but I love them because I don't know, you're put into a whole new world
yeah,
that you wouldn't normally see, right? Because we're so used to our Western movies, right? Or
right.
TV shows or whatever. But that's what this has done, as it's introduced me to film from other places.
It also introduces you to talent. I follow this guy
Yes.
on Instagram. His name is Julian Sue Sew. Oh my God, he is so good. He plays all of his characters, women and men. There's this
Oh,
one,
yeah.
yeah, and he's created this drama that I'm riveted. I can't. I'm always so excited about his what's coming up. Hell, he even had Kylie Minogue on at one time too. That's his now his popularity has become so big now. He's
Yeah.
attracting some big names, but I think for me, it's just his incredible talent at. We may not have had that if this was old Hollywood stuff. He has
No,
created this
exactly.
this niche for himself, which is outstanding. He is so good. I think you're amazing. You never hear me say that, but but I do think Julian, you are exceptional, and I
Yeah.
love your stuff. It's great.
Yeah. Tons of comedians on
Oh
there.
my God, that you
Tons of
never
comedians on Instagram and on TikTok. The
pick
reels
up.
that
What is happening with
I don't
you?
know.
Are you having
I
a
think
stroke? What's going on?
I know my mouth isn't exactly like
Oh, I love it.
enunciating
No,
as well
it's.
as it should.
I think maybe we're
Uh,
just tired.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, um, yeah,
But
not
yeah,
enough coffee.
uh,
But yeah, so the talent
yeah.
from these places,
You send me TikTok stuff all the
I
time,
do, I do, because
all the time.
I I send them to my kids. I'm laughing, sending them to them, knowing that they're not going to look at this at all because their
They're
nerdy
cool.
mom is
Exactly.
just like, oh my god, mom, please, you're so out of date. Come on, this isn't funny. Why are you sending me this stuff? Constantly sending them things, thinking, oh, it's so funny. Wait till they see this.
My God. Do you know what? It's happening. I think what you just described is like our parents sending something to us and us being baffled, like, why are you doing this? Get away from us.
No.
And now you're doing it. Oh, Connie.
Yes, we all become our parents
Oh,
eventually.
God. It's so sad because I do still feel like that teenager sometimes where I'm seeing something and I'm giggling. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to send this. And you're right. It's like, I'm
Yeah,
54.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. The young kids don't think that we're very funny, but I think
No.
I mean, even when they walk by and they see me editing these podcasts,
Yeah.
and I'm laughing while I'm editing, and they're like, "Oh God, mom."
Isn't it? I know it's crazy. It's stuff only we find amusing. They wouldn't, but that's okay.
Play.
That's
Yeah,
okay. But it does. It just. It is a real thing of. I don't know. In some respects, it unifies social media because it does allow content for everybody,
yeah.
and and that's a good thing. I do think that's a good thing. You
Now
know.
the thing that I don't like about social media are the influencers. I don't like the commodification of everything. This is what you have to wear for this season. This is how you have to design your house for this season. There are a lot of people that feel that they need to buy
What they say.
what they're saying. And every single season or every couple of months, skinny jeans are in, wide leg jeans are in, this is in, this is in. If you're over 50, you should not be wearing this. The younger people are they're all following influencers of some kind.
Even your kids.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So influencers were in. Now it's de-influencers. They're not buying anything. The whole don't buy anything. I don't know what the whole gain of a de-influencer is because an influencer makes money off you buying stuff,
Right.
but a de-influencer, I think it's just the
Backlash.
backlash.
You are having a stroke. You're making me
Huh.
laugh, God.
And this is how we find out that Connie has dementia.
God, don't laugh about that. Oh my God. No, maybe you're right. Maybe it is a backlash because they've had a lot to say. I've seen them show up on red carpets and they're being in the
Yes.
same level as like movie stars and everything else. I thought, okay, but I don't know
They've even
anything
been
about them.
added to movies.
Oh, Really?
Yeah.
It's not like the traditional ways. This is actually interesting. See, modeling, I'll give you an example with that. That industry has completely changed because in my brief day when I was doing it, you were discovered. Nowadays, a lot of models are selected based on their followings on Instagram or wherever it is.
Mhm.
So, the more popular you are, the better of a chance that you can join an agency, which is completely topsy turvy in certain respects because they're the ones controlling it, which is interesting. It's really really interesting. However, I also think it sounds like it's a lot of work having to mine
Right.
the social network in order to get people to like what you look like, which is actually a little bit sad too in its own respect. But regardless, it's the way it is now. This is so influencers being part of movies based on their social media presence, modeling getting jobs based on their social media presence. That's the new. I guess this is
Yeah.
the new world,
Yeah.
right?
David's cousin's daughter, Stefania Bonomo, is a model in Europe.
Mhm.
She's from here. Started
You mentioned
modeling
her.
and was in New York and now doing all the top designers in Europe.
Okay.
I don't know how she got discovered actually, but she's amazing. She has model essence. So, you know,
Yeah, I do. I
and you
get
know
it.
what that thing is. Yeah.
Uh, I don't even know what it is most of the time, but that's so. How is she on social media?
She's on social media as far as I don't know what her following is. Because I don't ever look at that. I never look to see, when somebody says, "Oh, I have this many followers." It's not something that I have ever looked at. Even my own followers, I don't look at to see how many. It just, kind of go, oh, she only has 4,000 followers. So it's not like,
It's still a lot. That's
I
still
guess. How many do
yeah.
I have? Let's see. And that's on
Um,
Instagram, mind you. I
right.
have I have an angel number of followers. I have 555,
Good for
555.
you. God, I don't even know. I don't check. It's
Yeah.
not high at all. I like I have a love hate relationship with social media. I realize we need it. I mean, look at us right now doing this. Without
Right.
social media, we wouldn't be able to get anything out there, and that's fair. But I also understand that we're also putting ourselves out there, and
Yeah.
whether we like it or not, we'll get a response.
Yeah.
For the most part, we've been very blessed because it's been quite positive, and that's great.
Yep.
But you're also, opening the door to potential crap. And for the people that are really popular, uh, I sometimes read some of the stuff that people are saying, and I'm like, weathering that is another layer of skin, tough skin that you need
Yeah.
because opinions have become, especially online, because you can be anonymous, brutal.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, you
know,
can say
some
nasty things, right? You will say things to
horrifically
people
nasty.
behind the screen
Yeah,
that you would never say to their face because when you're behind the screen, the person isn't real. It's almost like it's like you're playing a
it's a
game,
persona.
right?
Yeah, like,
So
yeah.
so to them, to the person making the nasty comment, it's not really a real person. It's like they're playing one of those car racing games. That's where they get that bravado. But if that exact same person saw you face to face, they wouldn't say anything. They'd be polite.
Although these days, who knows? But yeah,
No,
yeah,
I do think
I don't know.
they're probably cowards.
I
Um,
I don't agree with you on that one. I think that we are living in an age where people are becoming much more emboldened than they ever were. It would have been happier if they just stayed behind the screen, but we're seeing way too many instances of people revealing their very ugly nature, and
do you
it's
think?
it's yeah, I
Have
do.
you seen it? Like I haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe again,
You don't want to
I
look for it. It just
I'm not
happens to.
looking for it. I'm
Yeah.
also living in a very, very insular type of life, right? Where it's my bubble is small.
Sacrosanct. It's your own space.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
keep it free from the clutter. But the clutter, I mean, if you browse Threads is pretty good. Blue Sky is great. I think
Yeah.
that one is my favorite because it has done. everything they can to remove that whole toxic culture that's developed on Twitter, thanks to Elon
Hmm.
Musk.
Yes.
And that toxic culture is actually running rampant too, with our younger generation, especially men and boys. It's We have to keep an eye on that. Like, it's really a concern.
Yeah.
You have people like Andrew Tate who r- rule the world when it comes to social media,
And
and
he's
his
he's free
opinion.
again,
I know.
free in the US
All the worst
because
people,
Trump called him over and got him free. Like, I mean, this is a sex trafficker. You say you're trying to get rid of those in your country, and you're bringing a known sex
right?
offender, sex trafficker into your country. It
You
doesn't
did it.
make
I mean,
sense.
you did that. You're the president. You did it. So, again, supporters of him, that is what you're supporting. And I don't want to
Yeah.
hear you say, "Oh, I don't support that." Yes, you do. You voted
Yeah.
for it. Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah.
You voted for this. You get all of it. All of it. You get
Yeah.
no grace
And
when it
he
comes to
has
this.
used social media
Oh,
to red pill so many young men and even grown men, because grown men listen to him too,
absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Anyone that's been, feels that they've been jilted by women in society, they start listening to him and take on that same persona, right?
It's
Of
been, and that's interesting, eh, Con? Have you how it's also revealed an underside to men and some women, how they feel about women.
yeah,
And it's really concerning. I look,
it's
we are older.
scary.
It is. We are older. So we've been through our own crap in our 20s and 30s and our
Yeah,
teens. I look at teenagers in their 20s now, and I just, I hope they're okay.
I
I
know,
look at your girls and
especially
I'm like,
having girls, yeah, and
I know.
you're knowing that they're going into that dating world, and it's one thing while they're living under your roof, it's gonna be a whole other thing once they've moved out and they're
Yep.
starting to navigate that, and you just hope and pray that they're strong enough
Yeah.
to deal with it. And I know Abby, if somebody wrongs her,
She'll
she
take care of
ditches
it.
them and doesn't look back.
Good.
When you're in love, there's blinders, right? You
Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
always want to see the truth about somebody.
I
And
wonder.
I really hope that they're
Of
both going
course.
to be safe.
Yeah. Absolutely. I wonder if the younger generation's dating profile means browsing their social media presence, seeing what they're saying and
Oh, of
seeing what they're
course.
doing. Okay. I again, like, no children, so I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
curious how, like, I mean, it was different in our day, obviously. We didn't have any sort of access to anybody's background. The
Yeah.
ability to find out stuff now is way easier, I suppose, and also
Yeah.
dangerous,
And
right?
and I don't even think for the younger ones. I think if you find yourself single
Mm,
suddenly,
yeah,
whether it's through divorce or widowed or whatever,
mhm,
and you start dating again,
yeah,
that's kind of a great way of weeding out. You stalk
yeah,
their social media, see what it is that you can find on there, and then you can make a decision whether, yes, you're going to go out with them or not. Because
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of red flags that can come up in that, right?
No kidding. I mean, it's I met Jim through social media and through a dating site, and I mean, it just because it was different back then too. Like, I actually think it's harder than it was before. Than it was. Like, I just think
Before dating
there's too much.
websites,
Yeah, I think it seems like it might be more difficult. I don't know, but that's how I met Jim,
I think it might
and
be.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just wonder because don't they just swipe? You didn't do that. You just read
yes.
people's profile, and
Okay, you're talking to
I know. I'm telling you.
someone
Like,
who
I mean, I
hasn't
wonder if
been
they know.
dating.
No, no, no. The girls would, if they would know this, or if that's what they do. I don't know, but I'm aware enough to know that these dating sites require. It's just different. It's like that dopamine hit. It's like 5 minutes. Nope, nope,
Yeah,
nope, nope, and it's like they're not taking the time
it's almost like
that
a
the
video
websites used
game.
to be. Yeah, It's sad. It's sad. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to go out there. It's
Oh
no,
gosh, no.
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 That's no. So Jim better stick around a long time
Yep.
because I'm not.
If not, I'm getting a cat.
Yeah,
Or
me too.
it would
Or a
be
dog.
like the old fashioned way, right? Like it would be, somebody introducing you and then that's it. I don't know if I could do I've seen friends of mine, who end up being single and then, my age and single and they go on to these sites and, you know,
Yeah,
the things that they find are
yeah.
interesting.
That's a nice way
It
to put
does.
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, the things that they're asked for are even more interesting.
it
And
is.
the
That is
things that
interesting too.
they offer
of
are probably the most interesting. I'm sorry. And yes, I am talking about dick pics.
course.
Nobody wants to see that.
I,
I'm
I,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Are men over 50 doing that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Like I mean,
it's different in gay world. That's different. It's different. In
yeah.
straight world, I never understood why guys do that to girls. Girls, unless there are some women that said, "Please send it to me. I want to see it,"
Yeah.
and suddenly that became the rallying cry for guys. But every girl that I know that's had
It's
that
not
sent to them,
interesting.
they laugh
Yes. Yes. That is the
every time.
reaction.
They
So
laugh.
unless you're trying to be a comedian.
His thing is that you know what kills me is that this is sometimes where it's this bafflement sometimes that goes on in a straight guy's head. Who told you to do that? It was
Yeah.
another guy. Did he tell you to do that? Because you're not talking to women
Well, I
because
think
they
what it is,
freaking hate it.
I think the reason that they send it, and this is just again me coming from not in that at all because I'm not
Yes,
in that whole area of
but you
life,
talk to people that
but
have
I talk
gone
to
through
people that
this.
have been. I
Yeah,
think the reason that they is, remember when you're little and you hear about the two little kids, you show me yours, I'll show you mine
right.
type of thing. I think that's what they're still trapped. I think that's where it's still trapped. I'll show you mine. Send me a pic of yours.
You know, it's
Which,
interesting. That's interesting because I just said that it sometimes initiates laughter from a woman.
yeah,
And what I had read about women reaction to men is they don't want to be killed and men don't want to be laughed at.
right.
And if you're doing something that's going to do that, then I really genuinely do worry about women and their safety more than I thought before. But
Yeah,
I also question a man who is over a certain age as a mentality to still do that. If
yeah.
you're 20, okay, you're forgiven a little bit for being an idiot. But if you are now at that age and you're doing stupid things like that, you really give your head a shake.
Hmm.
Think,
Yeah.
would you like it if that was your daughter and if she got something like that? Think,
Well, let's just say that if you're a grown man and sending that and you have children, they are going to get sent that as well. It's called karma.
yeah, right? So anyway, see again, like this is all part of the prism of social media, where it encompasses all of these elements, and I still think we're still trying to navigate how we work it out, how we live within the parameters of a system that really has completely taken over our lives,
You would
whether
call
we like it or not.
dating websites social media as well?
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
all part of it. It's all under it.
I guess,
It's
yeah.
social, yeah,
Well, considering
using a media
Facebook
method to socialize,
actually
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Facebook actually started out as doing that for the
absolutely.
college students.
Everything we do is all under this calendar, and I just again I'm to try to keep it
I
as positive as possible, right?
I could not see X being used as a dating website.
Oh God,
I could not imagine you would end up
I
with
wonder if though if people are. I mean,
maybe.
maybe.
Like, I just don't know. I can't.
I mean, Instagram, I'm
I
sure
mean,
people
unless
do.
you're dating a sex bot,
Oh,
which are those fake accounts that kind of try to rope you in and then scam you,
I
you
know.
know?
That's another sad thing.
Yeah.
The sheer number of scams that have been created and danger. I forgot. Yeah, that
Yes.
part too. But again, like just basically trying to keep it positive because there really are way too many negative elements to it. But I do think, from a positive perspective, that there's still so much that can be done with social media to impact us in a positive way. But I do wonder if we need to police it in certain. I mean, people
I
get
was
worried
just going
about
to
that.
ask you, how do we police it? Like, is it, especially because it's the internet, it's on the internet, so it, which is worldwide, is there a way of each country being able to police things in their own way?
I think the
Or do we need some
best
kind
way.
of CSIS type of
Oh,
international law?
I don't think so. I think the absolute best way for you to police is if you are required to put your picture up there, not anyone else's, yours, so everybody can see your face and know exactly who you are. And
Right.
that way, that would absolutely take the temperature down a notch.
It would take
Because
down a notch, but I don't think it would completely
no,
eliminate it,
no, it
right?
would just show you us who you are, which is
Yeah.
fine. But now we know. So whether or not you get interaction is completely up to the social media world.
Right.
But I do think if that person's required to show their face, it's backing up what they're saying,
Yeah.
and we get to see it. And
Yeah.
I really think that would cause quite a number of changes in regards to people's
Yes.
behavior, just a
But
little bit. But it
then
hides it.
again, you do have AI faces.
AI faces, is that another aspect of AI?
An AI image of somebody's face that you can put on your
Oh,
social media to say it's your face, and it's a face, but it's not necessarily you,
I don't like the
right?
sound of that.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
I think AI is going to change the landscape, I think.
Do you think we'll be
Um
alive to see that?
God, I hope so.
I don't know. I
Because it's
mean,
coming sooner than we think. Oh, I think we are looking at AI being a huge influence in our lives in the next 5 to 10 years. That's my prediction,
okay. Okay.
because there's so many different things that are coming out. And
Yeah.
I mean, ChatGPT is just one of them, right?
Yeah.
There's so many of them, and I can use AI on Riverside where we're recording this. If I mess up a word, I can put a different word in and use AI. It'll copy my voice and put the new word in my voice. Yeah. Yeah, like it's like so many, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, who knows what's going to be coming. You have AI art, there's so many different
I,
things. According to Bill Gates, he gave a list of all the jobs that are going to be gone in the next 10 years thanks to AI.
wow.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's the voice thing that is so concerning. And again, the creators of this, I know you think you're being creative. I get it. But have you learned nothing from Terminator 2? That's all. Now I genuinely believe that we need to be there do need regulations, and I know that the film industry is starting to take note of that. I know that the literature world is also starting to be much more concerned that AI is copywriting and taking their stuff.
Oh my god. Speaking of, I found out the other day that Meta is
Yeah,
using 2 of my books and a couple of my friends' books in their AI
description.
training.
How
Yeah. So I have to, I mean, my brother sent me
did you find
this.
out? What
There's
happened?
this there's this website that you can go on, and you plug in your books, the title of your books, or you
Yeah,
plug in the your name, your author name, and
yeah.
it'll come up with the books that they're using. So I have to find a way of getting like a cease and desist or something. And I
Oh
don't even know,
my
like, at
god.
what point, like, is it too late? There must be some. So my brother sent me this thing of what I can do. The only thing that looks viable on there, because it's Meta. How
Yeah,
would I
I know. I
fight
know.
Meta, right? Me, one little author, fighting it up against Meta. So it said that if you can find like a class action suit to join, and and to get on
It's
that.
and that's the thing. I mean, it was done these people who created this did this knowingly,
Yeah.
stole. They have stolen
Yes.
people's
Yeah.
information to create. This is stealing. I
It's
don't do
copyright
not
information. That's
don't come to
copyright.
me with we're being creative. Bullshit. You're
Mm-mm.
stealing, and you know it.
And that's
And
where I think we do need to have some kind of
yes,
government
this
controls in that.
absolutely.
Because if we don't, AI is literally going to end up ruining, like, what are we going to do? So this is the list of jobs that, according to Bill Gates, will be, and according to a lot of other people as well, will be no longer healthcare: nurses, doctors, therapists, and counselors; education, teachers, instructors, and school administrators; creatives, musicians, artists, writers, and journalists;
Okay.
personal services, hairdressers. I do not know how can
How?
AI
This
take a
doesn't make
hairdresser.
sense.
Cosmetologists, personal trainers, and coaches. I can see personal
Me
trainers.
too. Cosmetologist though, what? How does that work with applying makeup? I
I
mean,
have
like,
no idea.
doesn't make sense. But go on. Okay.
Oh, it's AI and automation. So I don't know. Are you
Okay.
sticking your head in some kind of machine and it's going to go and you come out with this, like, again, Jetsons. She puts on the little thing and it comes out and her hair's all coiffed.
I, you know what? Actually, I probably think that's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God. This
maybe
is so
that's where they're getting
depressing.
all their ideas from is the Jetsons.
Oh my God. I'm
Yeah.
not ready for this. I think that that is so scary. I mean, I know that you're trying to encourage like automation and AI in the restaurant business, and we already know it's in factories and they're
Yeah.
replicating art. Like art is being taken over by robots. And
Yeah.
what are they thinking? I just
No,
what is going to be
especially
our use?
so especially with the arts. To me, fine, take over the jobs, whatever, and then, have computers and robots do all the work for us. Give us a UBI, a universal basic income, and then let us then be creative. Let us do the art and the writing and the making music and stuff like that. That's where you would have thought it would have gone, because when people think of robots taking over the world, right?
Yeah,
They think of all the menial tasks that we don't really want to do. We want to be able to survive and live, which is
right,
hence the reason for the UBI being a
right.
necessity at that point. But then it gives you time to then do your creative stuff, do the learning a new language, do the,
Yeah,
all of that stuff. But
right.
why are we giving AI the opportunity to write dialogue for a movie?
It's a test to see what they can do,
Yeah,
because
I think so.
eventually I think humans are probably going to be the ones having to take care of these AIs. That's basically essentially the role that human beings will probably end up becoming. And without stopping, again, I'm quoting creatives types in the technological industry, we are going to be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Um, and that's a sober note on what could have been something that absolutely look. There's some benefits. Don't there are some benefits, absolutely, but the cost of these benefits, which includes stealing, is I don't
Mhm.
know. I'm we have to start questioning this stuff. We
Yeah.
have to.
I was actually like, out of everyone, out of all the authors in the world, you're using my work.
They're using everyone, everybody
to-
now. I didn't
and like
realize.
it was like, really?
Wow,
Like,
that's crazy,
why?
Connie. Can
I
you believe
know.
that's shocking?
Yeah.
Your face, like you look. I mean, I know
I was not
that's
happy.
your work.
What are you? It's my work. And then what? So then an
Someone else is
AI
using it.
robot's going to use it
Yep,
and it's going to be theirs.
that's right.
Where's my money for that?
Zero.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
mean,
there's
if
been a
Meta's
lot
going to
of
use it, if Meta's going to
yeah. That's why there's
benefit
been
from it,
class action suits.
I'd
That's
like
why they're
some money
having
from
it.
that. I
Exactly.
think I should be paid for that. I mean, if somebody wants to read my book, they have to pay me for it,
Yeah.
right? They have to buy the book.
Yeah. That's why again there's been lawsuits from artists who are
Yeah.
not happy. Hollywood, their scripts are being taken from all these movies for them to create a quote unquote script, which is basically regurgitating everything that they've seen
Exactly.
and putting it
Nothing
together.
new.
So AI sometimes I think is a giant scam
Yeah.
because it's not creating anything new. It's just
No, it's not being
stealing from all the
creative.
work that we human beings have created ourselves.
Okay. So now here's the rebuttal to that. They say humans are only regurgitating all the stuff that they've always seen. Romeo and Juliet has been done. West Side Story is a regurgitation of Romeo and Juliet. This movie and that movie, they're all regurgitations of each other. But it's not. It's still written by humans.
It's completely removing. Yes, of course, maybe they have used that, but they always update it so that it becomes more. It's
Modern.
different from,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It has
different.
a different slant to it.
Exactly. This isn't a different slant. This is stealing. This
Yeah.
is taking it and using it for whatever purpose. Without acknowledging that they've used like 300 sources in order to create this.
Mhm.
There's no acknowledgement. And
Yeah.
it's or payment for the people that actually put the blood, sweat, and tears
Exactly.
into this.
And do you
There's
know
no
how
blood, sweat,
long
and
it
tears.
takes to write a book?
Right? Right.
Like,
See,
you can't go as fast as what an AI could go. There's
which
no
is
way. It takes years to write a
years.
book.
And this is why people, I can see Connie's face when she's talking to me about this. And I'll tell you, it makes me hate AI because I can
Yeah.
see that it's actually quite painful to know that you have struggled to put together materials based on your own mind. You
Yeah.
did this. You didn't
Your
take
own
from
mind,
someone
your own
else.
experience,
You did this.
yeah.
And now you've decided that you're going to steal Connie's work to create something, whatever it is, and you're not going to give her the acknowledgement of the hard work and years of blood, sweat, and tears that she put into it, and
Yeah.
all the other authors. That is disgusting.
Yeah.
There's no way
Oh,
around
yeah.
this.
It's not like I'm the only one. I am one of probably thousands
Thousands.
of authors that they're stealing from right now.
It's that's
And
why. I
that's
mean,
just in the writing community.
right?
Guaranteed they are stealing visual arts.
Everything.
They're stealing music, they're stealing everything just so that they can
Absolutely.
train their AI.
And we're sitting here helpless. But I do wonder if perhaps you're right that there might need some government intervention. However,
I think
they're
that we need
powerful,
to be.
Connie. The
Yeah.
technological people are they're powerful people.
Yeah. Well, they need to
So
be cut down a notch or 2
how are they going to
because
do that?
originally the tobacco industry was powerful too, remember?
That's true.
They had
It's gonna.
they had doctors on there saying that smoking cigarettes were good for your health,
I know.
you know, back in the day.
We'll find
So
out
as
if somebody has that nerve to take that on because it is so huge and it's
nerve
involved
and
in
money,
every
that's the
aspect.
problem, right?
Oh yeah. Look,
Is
they bought
that
a presidency,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
That tells you the fight that's on our hands.
Yeah, yeah,
But
which is
anyway,
why we
but
need a
that's what we think.
government that's going to fight for us,
That's right.
right? And help us control where this social media is going because right now it's the Wild West, and what it's doing to our youth
And to
and
us,
to us
to
and
everyone.
where it's going with AI, I don't know.
I know. But like I know again, and this is what we think. We we do believe there are positive benefits.
Oh,
AI for
absolutely.
me is not one of them, but I do think other aspects of it have been beneficial. But I do think, as a closing note, that we have a lot of work to do in regards to how social media is going to impact us, especially one thing because we're older,
Yeah.
but it's quite another watching the younger generation having to
Well,
navigate
and
that.
that
So,
is the one thing that I have to say to my kids all the time, right? When
mhm,
they're going to school, they're going off to university to spend this money for, a university degree.
yeah,
Think of what your job is going to be,
yeah,
because when when it's more when AI does take over,
mhm,
because it is a matter of time now. It's not, it's not decades from now. It's
yeah.
way
Don't be
sooner than what we
obsolete.
think. We have to make sure that whatever job you pick,
Yep.
you're going to be able to continue
Doing it.
to do it
Yeah.
without the
Don't be obsolete.
fear of,
It's horrible.
you know,
Yeah. It is, that is, oh, I'm actually, now my heart just sank for them,
I
because that
know.
whole world of promise that we had,
No,
it,
it's up
we
in
could,
the air right now.
it,
Really, really is.
I, and I will again be truthful. As I get older, I find that I don't have children, as everybody knows now, and I've always had an ambivalent relationship with them. but but I do recognize what role we have as older people. Some people don't care, but I do care. I care that what we're leaving behind is a legacy of disaster
Yeah.
that they are going to have to navigate. It's jobs, environment, social media, all these things that are not. I believe in them though. I think they'll find a way, but I hope that right now we are able to at least start something that could help make things just a little bit less
Yeah.
gross, I suppose, or less cheating, less disturbing. I hope that's my hope for them. They deserve it.
Yeah.
We had it, so they
Yeah.
need them, right? And that's what I think. And that's what we think, right,
That
Con?
is what we think.
And I'm sure, you know, you'll have your thoughts about social media yourselves. We don't want
As
to
you
hear
listen
it,
to
so
us
I'm joking. We
on
do, we do. Uh, yeah, please, you can we can talk to us. You can write to us, please, at that Connie and Steve@gmail.com, or Miss Connie,
You can just add your comments to the bottom of this podcast,
right?
wherever it is that you might be listening to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, or wherever it is that you're getting your podcasts from. We
Yeah,
really do appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you. Thank us for listening to
yeah,
you.
thank
No,
us.
yes, for making this
Yeah,
podcast.
actually, I like that. Yeah, please thank us for infiltrating your lives. We did
Thank
it with pleasure.
you.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you
thank
guys. Thank you
you
so
for
much for your
listening.
support.
Thank you for following. Thank you for
Yeah,
supporting everything that we do.
yeah,
We really, truly do appreciate it.
yeah. We do. We do. Thanks so much. And Connie, love you. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Love you, Steve.
Bye.